My name is Seokwoo from Samsung Research. This work was collaborated with Naomi Yamashita from NTT Communication and Jong Kim from KAIST. This work is done when I was a PhD student at KAIST. So, my main topic for this presentation is Bodeum, encouraging working parents to provide emotional support for stay-at-home parents in Korea. Bodeum is a Korean word that means embrace or hug. Then, let me start my presentation. Even though childbirth is a valuable event, many new mothers experience mental depression that might include mild mood anxiety. However, 10 to 15% of new mothers might slide into a severe condition, including sadness and fatigue, because of hormone change, their body condition change, and parenting stress. Prior work shows that the importance of focusing on social factors to help reduce mental stress, especially from their spousal support. However, unfortunately, many fathers in specific countries think that childcare is a mother's responsibility. For example, this graph shows traditional stereotype about men's and women's role. The question is that, do you agree with man's job earn money? Woman's job look after home. 40% of South Korea people agree with the traditional stereotype, and more than 50% of people living in India, Russia, and Philippines agree with that. Although fathers participate in more childcare and housework than before, significant fraction of mothers are responsible for childcare in most Asian countries. Especially in South Korea, mothers spend on average 3 hours more a day with their child than fathers. Also, fathers in South Korea only spend 6 minutes a day for childcare, whereas fathers in the US spend 76 minutes a day. This video shows an example of a father who is not interested in childcare in South Korea.
빽빽한 일정이라 늘 피곤하다는데 아이가 아빠의 사정을 알 리가 없죠? 심심해하는 선율이. 경아 씨와 달리 육아에서 늘 한 발짝 떨어져 있는 재관 씨.
괴롭혀.
5분 지났어.
5분 동안 제대로.
또 참을로. 참을로.
고생하고 들어온 사람인데, 이 사람도. 왜 이 사람에 대한 배려는 없을까? 이제 당신이 해봐. 그건 아닌 것 같아요.
And this is another example video in Korea.
종일 아이에게 매달리느라 지친 엄마. 아빠는 아이와 놀아달라고만 하면 핑계만 댄다? 초보 부모의 모든 고민. 하지만
애를 받으라니까 왜 포기하잖아요.
육아는 전쟁이다.
애를 받으라니까요.
섞고 해, 섞고.
덜도 말고 딱 1시간? 1시간만이라도 애한테 집중해서 봐줬으면 좋겠어요.
남편의 도움이 절실한 아내.
육아는 그래도 엄마가 전적으로 하는 게 맞다.
육아는 아내의 몫이라는.
Like the video examples, many TV programs in South Korea assess the issues of fathers' participation in the childcare. Our goal is that to reduce mothers' parenting stress, how to encourage working fathers to provide emotional support for stay-at-home mothers. Our main idea is coming from two research. First is that working parents' indifference to childcare and underestimation of mothers' parenting efforts cause conflict in Korea. Working fathers spend the most time in the company, so they don't truly understand the mother's efforts or stress on childcare. Other research shows that how emotional support, particularly from their spouse encouraging word, is a critical factor to reduce parenting stress. This is our study procedure. Firstly, we conducted a preliminary study with 32 fathers and 35 mothers via online survey. Then, we designed a mobile system called Bodeum based on the result of the preliminary study. Finally, to evaluate the potential of our approach, we conducted a feasibility study during 2 weeks with 9 families. The goals of the preliminary study are to understand working fathers' understanding of their spousal parenting stress, and mothers' willingness of sharing baby status with their spouse, and possibility to use technology to support them. We used the Likert scale and open-ended questions. We asked both parents the following 2 questions. How would you rate the difficulty of childcare at home all day? And can you predict the response from your spouse for question 1? Based on their answers, fathers seem to have a relatively good understanding of the burden of parenting. However, interestingly, mothers felt that their husband's estimation of the childcare burden was significantly lower than the actual burden. Some mothers reported that since their spouse did not get involved in childcare, they do not understand its difficulty. According to the survey answers, many fathers wondered about their baby status when they were working. In addition, many fathers were also interested in not only their wife's stress level, but other health-related activity that can be neglected during childcare. Interestingly, most mothers responded that they want to share their stress level and childcare activity with their husband to increase their husband's understanding of their work, and their stress only accepts their location information because of the privacy concern. Based on the preliminary study, 3 design implications were drawn. First, mothers staying at home wanted to share about their baby status and childcare activities. Second, mothers wanted to show some evidence that they were actually experiencing some stress because they felt that fathers underestimated their parenting stress. Third, working parents wanted to know not only about their baby lives, but also the health-related activities of their spouse while they were away from home. Finally, we designed a mobile system Bodeum based on the result of the preliminary study. Bodeum consists of 3 components. First, a wearable device to monitor stay-at-home mother's stress, so the stress level is measured by a smartband automatically. Second, a tracking application to track the state of stay-at-home mothers and their baby. Third, a communication feature that allows working parents to access the data and give simple feedback to their spouse. Mothers or fathers can drag the proper icons and drop to the right boxes to express their status. Stay-at-home mothers use this application in a home. Working fathers this application in a working place. And now, I'll introduce with a usage scenario. Mothers can record baby status and their childcare activity by drag and drop the proper icons to the right boxes. Mothers wear a smart fan to measure their objective stress level. However, the objective stress level is automatically measured by heart rate variation, and it cannot distinguish positive and negative stress. Our focusing is mother's parenting stress, that means negative stress. So, we decide to use subjective stress level. Whenever objective stress shows high stress level, the application asks mothers if their stress is positive or negative. When mother inputs negative stress by dragging negative emotion, the application will send notification to fathers saying mother is stressed, so you need to discuss about that. After talking about the stress, fathers or mothers can change the icon to complete the communication. Also, fathers can comment or feedback on baby or mother's activity with simple feedback icons. To evaluate the system, we recruited 9 families, so 9 mothers and 9 fathers, consisting of single-income families where fathers worked outside of the home and stayed-at-home mothers who were responsible for childcare in South Korea. The mothers were supposed to wear a smart fan during working time to share their stress level. Each participant was compensated properly after completing the post-survey. We also conducted a pre- and post-survey. In the pre-survey, 5 Likert scale and open questions were asked to the participants to figure out their Beijing parenting environments and childcare perception. After the 2-week study, the post-survey was conducted to see the participants change after using Bodeum. This figure shows the number of execution of Bodeum from all the participants. The y-axis of the graph represents number of times Bodeum was executed each hour during the feasibility study. While mothers usually used Bodeum regularly while fathers were away, fathers seems to use Bodeum during their microspare and lunchtime at work and after they finished working. By analyzing the application usage pattern and the post-survey, we found improved fathers' understanding of mothers' parenting stress by sharing their mother's activity and stress level measured by a smart band. We also found decrease in mothers' perceived stress due to improved fathers' emotional support. And we also found that improved communication between parents about their parenting stress. When the smart fan detected high level of stress, Bodeum gave mothers a chance to input their subjective emotion as either positive or negative. To investigate the material use of subjective emotion icons, we asked if they had always entered their true emotions and whether they had ever entered the first emotions. Although most participating mothers seems to enter their true emotions, one mother reported that she often entered a negative icon to exaggerate her stress to her husband. Such exaggeration potentially increased the frequency of notification to fathers. Unfortunately, some fathers reported that repeated notifications made them insensitive. To balance out the asymmetric parenting roles, where stay-at-home parents do most of the childcare chores, we designed an opposite asymmetric emotional support, where the working parents provide emotional support for stay-at-home parents. However, some parents complained that this design was unfair, since fathers are also stressed from work and sometimes need emotional support too. In our study, we tracked the stress of mothers with a smart fan. Since much research has identified the benefit of self-tracking, the result that mothers perceived less stress after using Bodeum may be combined with both the effect of self-tracking stress and partner emotional support. However, our approach encourages emotional support from their husband. Therefore, we argued that our approach provides its own intervention effect and can complement self-tracking method. We limited our focus to a specific family type, a working father and a stay-at-home mother. Although such a parenting style is very common in Asia, the system does not address the parenting issues present in other family types, where parents have equal parenting roles. However, we believe that our findings can be extended to family types having unequal parenting roles. For example, a stay-at-home father and a working mother. And since spousal support is an important factor to relieve parenting stress in any family, we believe that our study provides insight to the domain of family health and healthcare informatics. To sum up, we proposed an asymmetrical system, Bodeum, to induce working parents' emotional support for the stay-at-home parents. And we conducted a 2-week feasibility study with 9 families and shows that Bodeum improves the understanding of working parents about spousal parenting stress and facilitates spousal communication. Thank you for watching this video and feel free to ask questions.